Hello, I am live. I haven't been live for a while. Today I'm going to be speaking to 3Ps Marketing about making the most of your marketing. I had the pleasure of actually seeing them this morning at a live in-person event where I was emceeing, so it's pretty funny jumping back on now and talking live again, but in the virtual world. So I just would like to pay my respects to the traditional landowners, the Yugambeh people of the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, where I live, work and play. And I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I recognise their connection to waterways, land and sky. So here I'm going to jump in and welcome 3Ps Marketing. But we're going to have some people. I don't know if I'm going to have one or two. Where are the lovelies? I got two Ps. Yay!
Hello.
Two with the 3Ps. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome. And this is your first live.
It is very exciting.
Thanks for having us on, Em.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's very fun. I get to see you again. But let's start with the fun question. And it's a bit, we've got two of you, so we can do one and two. But who are you? So we might say, who is 3Ps and who are each of you?
Amazing. Yeah. So, all right. So 3Ps is a marketing company based on the Gold Coast. We started when Kate and I were working together in marketing for a company, and we'd go to these amazing functions and fundraisers and things, and people would say, oh my gosh, I need marketing help in my business. But we were working for a very specific brand, so we could only do marketing for that brand. And one night I get a phone call from Kate and she says, I've got an idea. How about we start our own marketing company? And so I was like, I'm in, let's do it. And so that's how we were sort of born into the marketing world and being able to help so many other amazing businesses. And so we're both mums. We've both got two children each. So I've got a boy and a girl, and we're both live in Robina on the Gold Coast, so very close to each other. And we have an amazing team behind us that make up the third of our marketing team. So we're very lucky. And about Kate?
Yeah, so I'm Kate, and a co-founder with Elisha. And we just really wanted to help more small businesses here on the Gold Coast, but also in Australia with their marketing, because we did see a need for small businesses, medium businesses and sole traders to get help and get clear on their marketing. So it really inspired us to help more people and to do it on our own. So it is very handy to be in your own business when you've got small children. So I've got two boys, one in primary school and one in high school. So it does give me the flexibility to look after my family, but also do marketing, which is what I love and I'm passionate about, and helping other businesses with their marketing. So yeah, we love it. We love our team and we love what we do.
I love it. And, that's it. I love the way that it was just born, and so, some of the best ideas and the best businesses, I think, come around in that way, when you just go, let's do it. And then you figure out the rest.
Yeah, that's exactly what were you watching?
You're like, we can market ourselves. We're marketers. We can do this. We can just run a business. But as we all know, there's more to business than that. But are you tending to work with small businesses on their marketing?
Yeah, we work with sole traders and small to medium businesses.
Yeah.
That's really where we focus our energy in order to help them with their marketing, because we understand that they either don't have the time or the resources themselves to basically put together a marketing plan and execute that marketing plan. So that's where we like to help because, we just see ourselves as an outsourced marketing team. But we also say that, we're cheerleaders and we're here to help small businesses, because we know it can be a really lonely space. And we just want them to feel supported and to have that team on side to help them out.
Yeah. And we do have a couple of larger corporations, and it's more where we work with, the marketing manager, just to do those tasks that are really taking up that time. So we have that really great relationship with that one person and help her and her team, or them and their team. So it's great.
Yes, and I love the cheerleader bit. because when you're a small business, especially a sole trader, it can be, you're trying to do all the things, wearing all the hats, and you're supposed to do the work, but also continue to get the work. And I think that I know for me, you know, in my earlier years of business, it was feast or famine. So I would be having all the clients doing all the work and then go, no, I'm too busy. And then completely disregard attracting in any new clients. And then all that work would dry up and I go, oh,
yeah,
I need to do some work again.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, I'm here. And
don't forget.
do you need work? Do you need work? And, you know, you can get business that way. And I think you probably hear it as well. Referrals are a lovely way to work with clients, a lovely way to get business, but they cannot be the sole foundation of how you get work. How do you feel about referrals and as a way of bringing in business?
Absolutely. I mean, we are very grateful for all the referrers to us, and we regularly do a thank the referrers each month, where we put all of our referrers into a drawer and we pull out a lucky winner, and we just give them a $50 voucher to a small business of their choice to say thank you for the referrals, because we think it's important to say thank you. And it is definitely one of our marketing tactics, but it's not the only one. Like you said, you do have to have a few tactics working in order to bring you new leads into your business. And we're definitely very much of the mindset that we walk the talk. So sorry, that was my phone. So we do our own marketing for 3Ps. And that's the way we can sort of really lead by example for our clients.
Yeah, showing that you're actually doing it. But that's a lovely thing to actually reward your referrers as well. And I actually got a gorgeous little email the other day from someone. They just sent me a Mr. Consistent, like $50 voucher, and just was such a surprise. And, you know, I'm always happy to refer business, but to just be acknowledged and thanked. And obviously we can't pay people every single time we make money, or they wouldn't keep any, but just that, even that acknowledgement and saying, letting you know that actually transacted into some paid work for me, and I really appreciate it. But definitely not the reliance anymore. And you know, but then you can using those referrals and testimonials. That's again but it's a tactic. It's part of the ecosystem.
That's right.
Part of the overall plan. So we're very big on the planning. And I think that's one of our things. We take 3Ps and we use the P analogy in a lot of what we do.
Which you would have seen them.
I wanted to have it. Can you show me? Do you have one there? They gave me the cutest thing today.
We've got plenty of Ps on board.
Can you see our little squishy peas? So everyone we meet gets a little squishy pea.
It's so good. So it's literally peas.
But it's also a part of our process. So we believe in our P formula, I guess, and that's plan, execute, and analyze. So having, you know, a good marketing
I thought you were
plan,
talking about the 4 Ps, the classic marketing, price, product.
Our own P analogy, plan, execute, and analyze. So having that plan in place.
Down.
And having that checklist for your marketing. So we do like to, you know, make it really user-friendly and tangible to use in your business. So we put together a checklist for our clients. And it's basically week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of the activities for your marketing to do in your business. So that when you get that marketing time, whether it be a half an hour or an hour a week, you can sit there and you can tick off your marketing activities for that week. And we also say we don't expect perfection. It's just about consistency. So if you're consistently doing that execution, and then also at the end of the month, the analysis piece. So taking through the stats that you need to pick up each month and record in a simple spreadsheet and just watch that analysis month on month so you can see what's happening in your business.
Because you might say, you might look at your analysis of your business and say, okay, I'm a bit lower here. What didn't I do? And then you go, okay, I didn't do all the things I was supposed to tick off for that month. Therefore, it's not working. It makes you sort of accountable to yourself and getting back on that train of, yes, I do have to do the do. So.
And the accountability can be so hard when you're on your own. Like when you have someone to report to, it can be, or someone else keeping you on track. But that checklist sounds so lovely. And you brought that up earlier today when we were chatting, and it's just that analysis. Otherwise, we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks, and then getting a call out of the blue. A client wants to work with me. And it's like, let's see where that actually came from. And I think sometimes, well, there's, you know, you can actually look at your numbers and look at what's working and performing, but also asking people, where did you find me? How did you come to be here? To see if something is working. And I know you have a podcast, which I'll ask you a bit more about, but you know, I got someone coming through my podcast the other week, and it's just working in the background, but that's made me think maybe that's something that I want to push forward and potentially put into even ads, because it's a really nice way for people to get to know me, and it's there and it lives there. And that was an episode, you know, 20 weeks ago or something, but they found it and converted into a client. And so it can be a really lovely thing. So, but hearing that, if they hadn't have told me and just gone, I want to work with you, but they said,
that's it.
It was because of that.
It can be a really good part of your onboarding with a new client too, is just to have it in that onboarding. You know, if you have a document or a checklist, that they just pop it in there and say, how did you hear about us? So it's such a simple question, but one we forget to ask unless you actually have it there. Yeah,
it's really important. And then you can know which channel you want to spend more time on, or I mean, all these words. I love how you feel about, I get often when I'm talking about content and people go, so what pillars would I use? And I'm like, 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 I get it. I know that's the terminology, but I'm like, you know, so many, I'm like, theme, whatever you want to call, but I'm like, don't, right now, if you're not doing anything, like just, you know, and it's like, but does it fit into this or does it fit into that? And then trying to do it so perfectly in that respect, and wearing, you know, that's something that probably that's marketing language, but if that's not your zone of genius, I think when you start to worry about that stuff, I'm like, let's just call it something different. So you out on, what would you call content pillars, or how would you tell people to approach that in a simpler way?
Yeah, I mean, through strategy, definitely we look at, you know, their business as a whole and work out, you know, what's the lowest hanging fruit for them at that moment, you know, which is the item that's going to help them at that very moment to just get started. Because sometimes people just need that real kickoff with one smaller thing to get going.
And it's also looking to your ideal target audience and your ideal client as well. And often people will ask us, you know, what about TikTok, or what about this? And it's like, okay, well, who is your ideal client, and what age group are they, what demographic, what interests them, and then looking at the channels that are going to reach them. And if your ideal client is someone who's in the older age bracket of, say, 40 plus, they're not going to be on TikTok. So that's not really a marketing channel that you want to spend time on. You can if you want to, but that's not where your ideal client or customer sits. So more of that planning piece again. And like you say, instead of just throwing spaghetti at the wall, having a step back, having a look at that customer first, and then figuring out the channels that will reach them, and spending your time and sometimes paid money directly speaking to them on those channels.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something it's also important not to be on all the channels just because there's nothing worse than seeing.
Absolutely. Just because someone
I don't like it, but I got to do it. No, you don't. If you're not enjoying it, then you're not going to be presenting content that people enjoy either. If you're having fun, or you're enjoying it, or you're engaged, then you're going to be able to speak more to people if you find the format that works for you. That's so much better. And so we did talk about podcasts. You do have a podcast, so tell us a little bit about that. And
we haven't actually launched it yet, so it's in the works. So we haven't actually launched the podcast. So it's definitely in our list of things that we've started, but you know, we've had a lot of change this year, and our team's grown, and so we've been very much in just doing the do, and we've picked up, you know, so many beautiful, amazing clients. So, you know, they come first. We have those sort of structured our week a bit better this year, in the fact that we are working on our marketing one day a week. And then really, you know, making that about us, so that it's not all, you know, just doing the do all the time. So, so that's definitely that time. But we haven't long. We'll tell you first, Em.
I want to. You can have the exclusive when it happens.
You know, I love podcasts, so that's awesome. But but you know, the thing is, and there's a lot of talk about them. I run one currently. My other one's paused because I had two going at one time. I think what's not talked about sometimes is like that. You know, as I said, it is for me a lead generator, and is actually, you know, converting clients. But it's a lot of work. Actually,
Yeah.
this is great. I love jumping on this because there's, you know, planning the recording time, putting in the content, writing up bios, show notes, getting it onto the platform. Then it's not just a set, you know, release at once. It's like you've got to tell people it's still there. And there's episodes that, you know, telling people who are new to your audience that there's episodes from the past. And so people, when they think about doing a podcast, only think about, and it's probably the same with a lot of marketing activities, you think about the actual time that you're doing the thing. So social media posts, oh, it only takes a few minutes. No. The strategy and the thought and the gathering of content, even trying to find an image sometimes that works, that can take time. And so it's where do you want to, you know, where do you want to use your time, and what channel or what tactic is going to deliver to your, like, the best to your audience.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we love podcasts. It is a great, it is a great part of, you know, the marketing tactics that you can use. And it's also amazing content. Like you said, you've got one from 20 weeks ago that's still producing results for you. So that's the beauty of the content with podcast, is that it's out there and it's constantly working. So it's one of our tactics. We just haven't switched it on yet. So,
but you know, it's another, but it can be as well, in terms of for a client's marketing strategy. And I talk to my clients a lot about this. I'm like, you don't have to create your own. The easiest way to get on a podcast is to have a podcast. People are like, oh, you have a podcast, I have a podcast, let's watch. But that's how I first got on. I was like, why is nobody asking me to be on a podcast? And they're like, I'll make one. And then people go, can you come on it? You know, it's like, oh, okay. But anyway, I could have also asked people if I could be on one, and being on one is also super high value, because again, it still lives there. You don't own it, but it still lives there. It's still a great long form piece of content that can be shared, and also sets you up as an expert, right?
Yes, that's right. And you're getting the link backs from their audience. So it's a huge strategy in that component as well. Yeah.
Getting in front of a different audience is always good.
As we're doing right here.
Yeah.
So we're not silly sausages, you know.
We're not silly sausages.
And as well, you did mention before as well something that's close to my heart, and that is messaging. And I think sometimes we get really distracted by the shiny things, the Instagrams and the TikToks and the pretty, but the messaging can get forgotten. And I mean, how do you feel about that? I have a lot of things to say, but I'd love to hear what you think.
Very passionate.
It is part of that planning piece of having your core values really clearly defined, and then also creating your key messages out of your core values, so that it's really genuine to who you are and who you look to serve, and staying true to that. Because as you say, a lot of shiny things can come up, and we can get lost in that whole comparison syndrome of they're doing this and they're doing that, should I do this? But if you're really true to who you are and what your core values are and who you serve, then you know your key messages, and you can always find new ways to share that message. But you know, having that consistent messaging is really important.
And it's when we work with our clients, the strategy piece and creating that is so important, that we say to them, this is your roadmap, because we work with so many entrepreneurial creatives that things are coming at them all the time, you know, opportunities and everything, like you say, all the shinies coming at them. And we're like, this is your roadmap. This is what you've decided. These are your goals. Let's just work on this. And if something comes, then look at your piece that we've given you and say, does it fit in? You know, does it sit with my branding? Does it sit with my messaging? Because we can just go, that sounds so exciting, I'm going to do it. But it might not be on brand or on message of what your actual business is. So.
It's okay to say no sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to know your lane. And I think I always refer back to some of the biggest companies that we know, some of the biggest brands, and it's like they tell you the same thing over and over again. Like Nike, just do it. They're like active, they're doing sport, they don't just go off and start doing other things. They're like they're telling you that they have active wear, that they're about lifestyle, that they're a sports good company. Like, we know that, and they tell us over and over. Macca's make burgers and other food that we try to avoid but eat all the time. And so like, but we know if you want a burger, you go to Macca's. Like, they don't stray from that. They serve food. And they tell us over and over, they don't stop marketing. They're some of the biggest brands in the world, and they're still going.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that consistency, which is an amazing word that you said before, and I love, that is something that I think small businesses, we need to remember, and smaller brands or individual brands, we have to remember.
definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Staying true to who you are.
Yeah.
And just sharing that as often as you can in front of your audience will make you feel authentic in the marketplace. And I think that's important. If you're authentic, you are going to have cut through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how do you feel about people? I know one of the challenges that I have is seeing people put themselves forward. And so I know you work with businesses who have teams as well, but how do you feel about having people in the story and, you know, the people of the brand?
Yeah. I mean, it has to be authentic for them, and they have to want to do it. We do have a lot of people that come to us that say, I don't want my face in, you know, I don't want to be known, I don't want to be seen. And if that's how they feel, it's never going to come across perfectly until they feel comfortable in that. So often we might say, you know, maybe it's something you need to work around, you know, maybe go and get some coaching or go and see a branding specialist expert or
I don't know, do you know anyone?
We know someone amazing. I'll give you her details.
Thank you. I need to work on that, I know.
But so you know, that's a big piece of it. They have to feel comfortable in that, otherwise it's not going to come across well. And there are other ways around that, you know, getting their message, getting their story across, and getting them across without it being uncomfortable for them. And it's just a part of, you know, teaching them where to go to do that.
Yeah. And sometimes there's a place where if you're just not comfortable being the face of your brand or your business, that's okay. It's just choosing the other strategy that's going to be that face of the business, or, you know, that hero, I guess.
Yeah, true. And how do you two feel about, you know, and I love, you know, the way we met was at a networking event, and then so wonderful, we've stayed connected on social media, and then to see you again at a local event today and coming to support, which meant the world to me. But how do you two feel about, you know, showing up and how you talk about yourselves, you know, in conjunction with the business?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really, I'm great with it. I love it. I love the spotlights. I'm like,
get
shine
out the way.
Yeah. I'm like, that's my side. You're on my side. Like, so look, we're very, and Kate as well, we're very open and transparent in ourselves, and when we meet with our clients and people, and when we turn up to things, it's very us, you know, it comes across in our branding and who we are. You know, I think we just are very across everything that we do.
Yeah, we feel very comfortable representing our brand.
Oh, love our brand.
And that feels authentic to us. So that's what we do. And we love our team, and we're a small team, so we share about our team as well. And I think it's just true to who we are. And that's why we are comfortable being, you know, in front of our brand and the face of our brand. So yeah, I guess that's why we love doing it. And
the end result, you know, that cuts through everything for me. You know, I love the limelight and being in the spotlight, but at the end of the day, it's my client and who I'm working with and who we're working with that is the most important piece of that puzzle. And watching them shine in whatever way that looks like for them, that's the most important part. And that's what brings us light, isn't it?
Yeah. So. And, you know, when I said before we walk the talk, you know, we did planning for our business and we set out our core values, and one of our core values is fun. So that is a lot of our marketing, and it is our personality.
You're nailing it. Yes.
Yeah. It's a part of our brand. It's a part of our personality. And so, you know, that's authentic and genuine for us to share that. So we make sure that all of our, you know, marketing and messaging has that core value in it. And, you know, when we're going through core values with our clients, you know, it's everyone feels like it's not professional or not business-like to be fun, but that's our brand, and that's who we are, and that's going to resonate with people that we want to work with. And I think that's the thing, you don't have to be afraid to be authentic and authentically share your values through your marketing, because that's what's going to attract the right customers for you.
I love that. Well, I was actually going to get onto that, but absolutely that comes across, you know, when I meet you, you look like you have fun together. Like you can see that you have fun together in your work, and the brand is very fun, especially that little peas thing, which is going to keep me entertained for hours. But I would have described you as warm, cheeky, and smart. Very smart.
Yes, thank you.
It's my job, you know.
Yeah.
Very good at describing. But I'd love to. I actually had thinking, and then you know, great minds. What are the core values? You know, I'd love to hear your brand values as an example, because as you said, I think sometimes people are like, our values are like, you know, just have to be like honesty and professional. And I mean, one of my values is professional, but that's also because I wear unicorn pants, and I'm like, I need to just say that I am professional, but I will come with my hair out and bright earrings and unicorns. So but what are your brand values?
So, you know, we're empathetic is a big one for us, you know, because we're a small business working with other small businesses. We always put ourselves in their shoes, and we've been where they are or where they're going. So, you know, it's really important to us. Transparent. You know, we're very open and honest with our clients, and we say that from the get-go. We tell them if you're doing something we don't agree with or don't think is going to work for you, we will let you know, because that's really important to have that piece.
Yeah. And we're fun and we're genuine, we're authentic. So they're all of our core values that, you know, we share.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of core values, but they're important to us.
I don't think you need a lot.
You don't need a big list.
Yeah.
No, you got to think it's like, okay, we got to remember to be this, and we got to remember to be that. We got to remember like three to five people as a top tip. I probably should do. There you go. I'm getting all these ideas. I should do live on your values.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge piece, and I think even personally, people haven't done a values exercise, and some people have been through personal development or professional development where they've been taken through that exercise, but to really understand what your values are, I think people often default to ones that they think they should have. Like we're saying, even in a business, you think you should be this or you think you should be that. People say that their value is family, and I'm like, well, maybe family is fundamentally part of your life, but they might not be the thing that drives you. It might be something that drives you that then, you know, helps you to support your family. So we don't have to go with, you know, and there's a lot of values. There's actually a lot, you know, and you can use words in very clever ways. So it's actually a really fun and important exercise to do. And it's lovely that you're supporting people through that, but also practicing what you preach. So, I mean, I think we've really hammered home the branding, but just in case, where can we find 3 Ps?
Any event? No, I'm joking.
There's a drink will be there. There's a cake will be there.
Morning tea, lunch.
So website www.3ps.co. Instagram, obviously here.
Facebook. And following with the P pun, you can email us at pod@3ps.co.
Yeah.
I need your podcast to launch because it's so brilliant. The 3Ps podcast.
I know.
Like,
that's literally what it's called.
Yeah.
So I want to add one more brand value for you. That's smart or clever.
Okay, I love that.
It is. I mean, some people don't say I'm smart, but you are.
Thank you.
We
love
it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for being here today. This is so packed full of value, and people will be able to watch afterwards on the live little channel and watch this over and over.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We just love you, and we love your brand, and we love you so much.
We love you. We love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye. Thanks for having us.